All right, so we should be recording and we should be live on Facebook. So welcome everyone. Today is our backyard barbecue cooking class. Super excited to be with you. I'm Monica Crumley. I'm in the Sacramento area. I'm a consultant and team builder for Thermomix, and we have two other consultants on today. Christiane Hanneman, she's in Tahoe, and Rebecca Ellington up in Redding. So we make up the NorCal team. And there's still another consultant. She's house hunting, so she couldn't make it today. So today we're actually going to get started with the summer fruit crumble and crème anglaise. This recipe looks amazing, and I watched it on YouTube with a chef that was in the UK, and he was working with Thermomix at the UK. And so it's not in Cook I Do, but it has been written with Thermomix instructions. And if you don't have a Thermomix, you can actually follow along. It's pretty easy to follow. So I'll try to explain, I'll just try to say the ingredients before I put them in. So if you want to write it down or follow along, you're welcome to. So I'm going to be doing manual cooking on this. This will be the only recipe today that we're doing manual cooking. With Thermomix, you can do the Cook I Do guided cooking, but you can also do manual. So you can, at any time, you can adapt your own recipes, and you can do simple functions like dough, slow cooking, blending, weighing. The measuring scale is indescribable because we use it all the time. So the first thing we're going to do, I already have my oven started and I have a baking dish prepared. So we're using hazelnuts and almonds to be part of the crumble. Actually, it says part of the filling. That doesn't make sense. I think this is going to be part of the crumble. But anyway, we'll figure it out as we go along. I've not made this, so anybody can make this by following directions. So the hazelnuts and almonds, both 50 grams. So I've got my scale set to metric. I've already pre-weighed everything. But so basically 100 grams of nuts. And we're going to chop those up. 2 seconds, speed 7. I don't know if you can hear my cat. She sounds really sad. Okay, here we go. Okay. Did you guys hear that, or did Zoom kind of block out the sound? Pretty loud. Okay.
Probably a bit louder than us.
Yeah. It chopped up the nuts. I actually prefer them a little bit more chopped, so I'm going to just do that one more time. Speed 2, 2 seconds, speed 7. We have somebody else coming in. Let me see if I need to let somebody in. I heard a sound, but I'm not sure. Okay. So it's a little more finely ground and yet still chopped. So it's kind of whatever your preference, I'm guessing. And we're just going to set those into another bowl. So transfer them to the bowl. With Thermomix, if you're doing a manual recipe, you always want to start with your dry ingredients first. So it just makes it easier, more time efficient, and easier to clean your mixing bowl as well. Okay, so I'm going to take butter. Let's see how much butter. 30 grams of unsalted butter. It's basically 2 tablespoons. 2 tablespoons. Oh, Nellie. Can you guys hear her? Nellie. Okay. We've got the butter, apples. So it's 200 grams, or like, I used really small apples. I used 3 of those. I did not peel them. I just, I like the peel when it comes to this kind of a dessert. So we're gonna put the apples and blackberries. 200 grams of blackberries. I'm putting all this in with the butter. Oh, and sugar. 100 grams of sugar. And that's it. Just those sugar, apples, blackberries, and butter. And we're gonna let that cook for 10 minutes. And then we'll move on to somebody else. But let me get that started. Cook 10 minutes. So we just set our timer here to 10 minutes. °100°C. As you can guess, this recipe is metric, written for the UK, and speed 1. And then in the meantime, I've already done this step, but if you were making this at home, you would then hull your strawberries and let them soak in amaretto. So I've already done that. You hull and slice your strawberries and soak them in amaretto. You can imagine it's gonna be amazing. Okay. So, where are we going to next? Was it Rebecca? Are we getting?
I believe so.
Okay, Rebecca.
That's all right, Christiane, to you?
Yes, because you have 2 steps in yours, so go ahead.
So I'm Rebecca, and I'm in Reading, and I'm making a barbecue sauce. And one of the many things that I do appreciate is that you can create sauces, you can make all kinds of sauces and put in what you want and what you don't want in them. And so you have so much power over condiments. I think that's power over condiments. So we're gonna start making our own barbecue sauce. And this is a prompted recipe. And what's lovely about a prompted recipe is that you hit start and you can't mess up. And I'm a lifelong reluctant cook. I love food, but my capacity for making errors is beyond imagination. So this works tremendously well for me because it delivers excellently. So the first thing, I've kind of put all the things together. So I'm gonna walk through. We're gonna make a dry rub first, and then we're gonna mix that with some wet ingredients. So there's, in this bowl, pre-measured is 3 ounces of salt. And you can use, what's nice is, I can take, this is the lid, and this is called a bowl, which it's what it's called. And you can put a bowl right on top of it and measure, the weights that way. So I could pre-measure everything into this one bowl. And so it's asking for the salt, 3 ounces of salt, quite a bit of salt, if that makes sense. And then 1.5 heaping tablespoons of black peppercorn, a cinnamon stick that's just torn into pieces, and a heaping teaspoon of coffee beans to add some depth of flavor, I think, and a heaping teaspoon of cumin seed, and a teaspoon of chili powder. And then I'm gonna put all that in there, kind of do it in one drop, if you will, and then put the lid on, and then you put in the center, this is called the measuring cup, and it just keeps things from splaying out the opening, which sometimes I neglect to do. All right, and it's telling me that it's gonna, at speed 9, quite high, it's gonna blend this for 45 seconds. Okay.
While we're waiting, why doesn't everybody put in the chat their favorite summer barbecue dish? I'm curious to see what you guys are excited to make this summer.
So here's what we have, this amazing powdery of things that weren't powder at the beginning. Just to start and do that well. And then we're gonna add some brown sugar to that to make it sweet. But it's just such a pleasure to be able to start with real products and real ingredients and let them be ground down to something we're gonna use in our barbecue sauce. So here's the sugar. we're gonna, let's see what this is gonna ask. Just 20 seconds. This is gonna be fast. That was 45 seconds. So this is gonna be 20 seconds at that same high speed again.
Well, potato salad's a good one. We almost made one today, but we all chose different recipes, so we'll have to do that next time. Anybody else want to add what their favorite summer barbecue dish in the chat?
All right. And then we're gonna put this bit away. That cumin smells so good.
Welcome to everyone who's just recently joined us. I'm going to mute your sound, but if you have a question, feel free to put it in the chat. And you're welcome to come on, you know, show yourself on camera. We'd love to see your face if you're.
All right, we're going on now with some onion, and this is what's going to get cooked. This is why it has a little bit of a cooking time. Just 5½ ounces of yellow onion, and you don't have to chop it up. That's another thing that's so lovely, right? I'm very sensitive to onions. That's the plastic bag. Okay, so that's in there, and we've got garlic cloves, ½ ounce.
Are you putting those in whole, Rebecca?
I am. I'm putting them in cold, and I'm going to put in ½ ounce. It says canola oil, but I don't use it, so I'm going to use avocado oil.
Okay.
Great with heat. So I just measure it, and it tells me there I am at that ½ ounce. So I've got the garlic, the onion, and now we're gonna come to this where this is gonna, with the oil and the onion, it's gonna cook for, oh, I might have read that wrong. It might cook for 5 seconds. Let's see, it's gonna mix first. And then it's going to tell me scrape down the sides, which that's good. So it's just got a nice little onion puree in there with garlic and a little bit of oil. There we go. And now it's going to cook at about 250 Fahrenheit for 5 minutes. And while it does that, we'll do something else.
Awesome. So mine is going to be ready in just a couple minutes, and I need to make the crumble and get mine in the oven so that it can be done. Would that be okay, Christiane, if we just kind of pop into mine to finish up this part?
Yep, that sounds good.
Okay, so we still have 2.5 minutes. Did you want to show anything on Cook I Do?
Yeah, so I can show Cook I Do really quick.
Okay.
It looks like you actually disabled my screen sharing, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to.
I didn't do anything, but I can screen share.
Yeah, when I click it, it says that the host disabled attendee screen sharing. So unfortunately.
Here, and of course I can't fix that right now. So.
It's probably in the dirty dishes or somewhere. Just look around.
Okay, so we're in Cook I Do. This is where you do everything. You can find amazing recipes directly on the Thermomix, but the best way to search is to go to cookido.thermomix.com and sign up for 30 days free. And then you get a subscription with your Thermomix. Christiane, I don't know, I can scroll down if you want to talk about it.
Yeah, sure. So usually once a week, Thermomix will come out with the new recipe collections. There's already about 50,000 or more now actually recipes in this database. So here's some of their latest collections. There's sourdough baking has been really big at home now since the quarantine started. So they've been coming out with a lot of good bread collections, and the most recent one is sourdough baking. So they actually show you how to make your own sourdough starter at home. And then there's a bunch of recipes in there. I just looked at it the other day. It came out, actually, I think it just came out yesterday. So I was looking yesterday. It has cookies, scones, there's lots of different things. I've seen a pancakes one, sourdough pancakes. So it basically shows you how to make the starter and then all the different kinds of things you can do with it, which is really nice. And then if you scroll down under the collections, there's editors' picks of the week. So this is refreshed every once in a while, every week. The editor will pick a few recipes to kind of showcase. With there being 50,000 recipes in the database, it's kind of hard to look at all of those. So it's really nice every week to go on and say, oh, I haven't seen this one before. I want to try that out and add it to your collection. And then below that, there's a new class that Thermomix created with Camila. So you can learn how to make pastries. There's just a couple different quick videos with her showing how to make different things with pastries. So that's really helpful with the Thermomix.
Let's go back to what we're cooking here, and then we'll go back to Cook I Do.
Sounds good, Monica.
Okay, thank you so much. All right. You cannot ever get bored with 58,000 recipes. There's just no way. You're always going to find something to make. Okay. I'm sorry, my screen is shaking here. Okay, so our berries have cooked. All right, so now we have, actually, it's the blackberries and apples. Down for you. Put them in. This is going to be amazing. This is going to be, I just know it. I can already feel it. Okay, so we put those in here. And then we add the soaked strawberries, reserving the amaretto for the creme anglaise. Like, holy smoke, that's going to be amazing. So I was just going to pour it in, but it looks like we're going to save the amaretto. Wow. That is already looking so pretty. The next step is we're going to make the crumble. So I'm going to switch out my bowls. Really is nice to have two bowls. And right now, if you host a cooking experience, the mixing bowl can be purchased at a reduced price, which is awesome. An extra mixing bowl. Okay, so we're going to make the crumble. We need flour, butter, and sugar. And I kept my butter cold because I really think when you're making a crumble, you want to have cold butter. So let's see. Flour, sugar, and oats. So I'm going to let you know how much is in here. It's 100 grams of flour. So again, I'm using these small cups. It's not a whole bunch of flour, less than a cup. $50 grams of rolled oats. 100 grams of unsalted butter, diced. Let me see, am I putting everything in there? Just got to read this again quick. Flour, butter, sugar. Okay. Did I do that? No, I didn't. I did it wrong because it didn't say oats. So where's the oats? Oh, okay. So it's a little bit wrong. The oats go with nuts, but you know what? It's going to be fine. Yeah. It says add the reserved nuts and oats later. So it's okay, the oats are already in there. So we're gonna add the sugar in here. And that was 90 grams of sugar. And that is 8 seconds, speed 5. Then we're gonna add in the nuts, and we would add in the oats. So it's starting to get that crumbly texture. I think my butter could have been even colder, but it's really warm. So it's warm out. And we're gonna do this for 2 seconds, reverse speed. So 2 seconds. Reverse speed means we're not using the sharp part of the blade, we're using the dull side of the blade, and we're gonna do it on speed 4. And we just have a nice mixed up nut and oat crumble now. Oops, I'm gonna keep that down, sorry. We're gonna crumble this onto the fruit and I'll pop it in the oven. This will bake for about 25 minutes at 400 or about 375. It's 200 degrees Celsius. Okay, that looks really great. There we
Pretty.
go. All right.
That looks really pretty.
Okay, I'm gonna go pop this in the oven, and Christiane, are you up or is?
Rebecca, is your sauce ready for the next step yet?
Oops, yes, it's all ready. It's
Because
all,
if you want, we could finish up yours and then we could do mine and then your drink if that.
yeah, that's good, because mine I do think has the next bit is a little bit of time yet still. So
Okay.
this is what we're gonna, let me get back. So I was looking ahead. Okay. All right, there we go. I just want to make sure I know where I am. Yes, okay. So we've cooked the onions for 5 minutes. We've done this step. And now we're gonna add, we had made that dry rub. So we took all the dry ingredients and all the seasoning and all the coffee beans and fun flavors. And now I weighed out 1 ounce and we're gonna add that to this. Oops, went too fast, which I do. And then I'm gonna add just a bit of mustard to this. This has a teaspoon. And next is just that. So I'm gonna put this back on. And this is gonna be just 30 seconds, okay? So it's not gonna be long. I'm just gonna mix it together. So it's a gentle mix, so it won't turn me off, I don't believe. And, but I really do, I love that you can make all kinds of condiments. You can make, I don't know if I say it right, but Worcestershire sauce. We do eat keto, so we can make it with different sugars. And I love that flexibility. Like, depending on what your food restrictions are, there are like things I just like hoisin sauce. Like I don't know if I say that right either, but I use it. But you can do your hoisin sauce in here. You can make so many kind of the background, the condiments of cooking that sometimes have things in them you really don't want. Still today, like you sometimes can find things you're shocked they're still being put in food, and you can create it without that. And I love that about this. Okay, we're gonna add some apple cider vinegar, and I've already mixed it with the Worcestershire sauce right here. And then the next step is 3 ounces of molasses. So a little bit more. This is definitely not an unsweet barbecue sauce. It's got a lot of sweetness. It has that brown sugar in the rub, which we don't use just an ounce of that. But then, so I guess it doesn't have that much sweetness. If I was thinking of when I made the rub, but we just use an ounce of the rub. And then this is 3 ounces of dark molasses. Okay. And now we're going to add next. No, we're not. Okay. Okay. We're going to cook it. We're going to cook it for 10 minutes. That current mix, and then we'll add the ketchup to it after that. So we're near the end, but this is a 10-minute cook right now at 250 degrees again. So back to you, Christina.
Okay, sounds good. All right, so I'm going to be making the spiced corn salad. Whenever I go to a barbecue, I'm either the dessert person or the side salad person. So this is what I like to make, easy side salad. This recipe takes about 10 minutes or less to make, which is also what I really like about it. And it's recommended in the recipe to use fresh corn kernels. Just get 6 cobs and slice off the kernels. But I actually have used and tried frozen corn with it, just thaw it before, and it works really well also. So I'll go ahead and get started. The first step is cooking the corn with some olive oil. And then I wanted to share with you guys, if you don't have the recipe in front of you, I'll let you know what else we'll be adding to that. So let me go ahead and get my corn here. And the nice thing about the Thermomix is that while it's cooking, it's stirring for you as well. So nothing's going to get stuck at the bottom and get burnt while it's heating up. So it's going to be slowly stirring the corn while it's cooking for 6 minutes in olive oil. And so when you first, if you're not familiar, when you start it up to get into your recipes, you go into the Cook I Do. And then I put the spiced corn salad in my week for you can do meal planning with Cook I Do as well. And I have it under today. So you could just go ahead and click on what you're cooking today and it pops right up on the screen here for you. So I'm gonna go into that and press start cooking. And it also has a built-in scale. So it's telling me to add a ½ ounce of olive oil. I would have no idea how much that is otherwise. So all I have to do is pour it in and it will tell me when to stop. And I kind of just swirl it around to get it coating the bottom really nicely. So then next I'm going to add in my corn, and we're using 24 ounces or about 2 of those small freezer bags of corn, or if you're using fresh corn, that's 6 cobs. And just gonna go ahead and put that in your mixing bowl. And then cover it with a lid. And we're going to cook it for 6 minutes at 212 degrees Fahrenheit. And it's just on the lowest mixing setting. So it's gently going to be mixing my corn for me while it's cooking in the olive oil. So once that's done, if you guys don't have the recipe in front of you, it's called spiced corn salad because it does have fresh jalapeno pepper. So I've gone ahead and de-seeded that, and you don't have to chop it up. You only have to de-seed it. And then we're also going to be using a few pieces of green onion, some red bell pepper, cucumber, fresh cilantro, lime juice, salt, and pepper. So it's really, really nice, citrusy, and a little bit of spicy salad for summertime. Perfect for a side to your barbecue. And so I'm going to go ahead and let that cook, and we can talk more about Cook I Do at this point.
Let's just take a look at your recipe for a sec.
Perfect. So it's spiced corn salad. Thanks, Monica. It's helpful for everyone to see it in front of you.
Yeah, so you can just push cook today, which is what Christiane did, and I've done it too. Then you can also add a bookmark, add it to a collection if you like to have barbecue salads or whatever you want to call it. You can add it to your week, you can add it to your shopping list, and you can also share it and rate it. So we want to make sure we rate all our recipes as well, because it just, you can see 2 people have rated it 4.5 stars. And depending on what Christiane tells us, she'll rate it from there. But this is how it looks. And so she just mentioned all the ingredients. And then, you know, here's the different steps. And then there's always tips. So it, you know, tells you you can use bird's eye chili. Never heard of that. And this comes from the US collection of 4th of July collection. And then there's other alternate recipes, which I love as well. So how much time do you have on yours, Christiane?
Sorry.
It's okay. How much time do you have left on yours? I didn't hear.
My mute button is not being nice to me. So it needs about 3 more minutes, Monica. I don't know if you want to.
I'm going to show a couple more of our recipes. So I'll show you what my week looks like. So today, this is what we're making. Rebecca is making this amazing barbecue sauce. It's 4.7 stars. There's many barbecue sauces, by the way. This one happens to be easy, 5 minutes to prepare, 20 minutes total time. So how cool is that? You don't have to buy stuff that has preservatives and all kinds of coloring and whatnot in there. So you can absolutely control what goes in it. Here was the dry rub ingredients. And here's what she's doing now with the barbecue sauce. And then you can use the Varoma to steam and what's it called? Sterilize your jars if you want to save them for a long time. And then this is from the Barbecue Boosters recipe collection, and it's also in Simple Ideas. There's a steak sauce, there's a plum sauce, there's a keto mayo, there's a guacamole, lots of different ideas. Then we'll be making this next. The Crème Anglaise. This is the vanilla sauce that's going to go on my crumble, which I am super excited for. It gets 5 stars, and it's a TM6 only recipe. So in the TM6, we have a thicken mode, which is this right here. And you literally toss in these ingredients. You do have to keep pretty close to the actual measuring and weight of what they give you, so don't mess around too much with this. It says a vanilla bean pod, and I will tell you, I did not get to the store. Trader Joe's doesn't have vanilla bean pods, and I didn't get to another store yesterday. So you can use vanilla extract, which is a great tip, because not everybody will have a vanilla bean pod. They're also very expensive. And I'm using vanilla bean paste today. Same idea, and I'm also going to be putting a little bit of amaretto. But look, how simple. You just put the ingredients in and click thicken, and it actually will just go and do it. You don't have to do anything else. You can walk away. There's no other place you can just walk away and make crème anglaise, right? You probably have to stick to the stove pretty carefully. And then Rebecca's going to be making the sherbet mimosas, and I won't steal all her thunder on that. But we also have a shopping list, which is available, and then that will be available on your phone as well. So when you go to the grocery store, or in my case, I send my husband a lot, you have an option to share the grocery list. You can share it by category. And these are German names, if you're wondering. I did a German recipe last night. So it's still in there. You can do it by recipe, which I prefer because I like to see the picture of, oh, I need this for that, you know, that kind of thing. So my list is kind of small because I've already checked everything off after I went to the store. And then you can add additional items as well to your grocery list. You can also save collections. You can bookmark your recipes and save collections. And what I love about that is if you are in an RV, or you're in a hotel, or you're in an Airbnb, and you bring your Thermomix, which I will in July, you don't have to have Wi-Fi. You'll have these already bookmarked and stored in your Thermomix. So that's really awesome.
Cool.
So I've stored a ton of stuff. Is yours ready, Christiane?
Yep, perfect timing. It's dinging at me.
It's dinging. Okay, perfect.
So I'll go ahead and finish up the spiced corn salad. Thank you, Monica, for showing everything.
Yes.
And I will just show you guys, it's not burned or anything, so we're doing good so far. It just cooked it with some olive oil very gently, and I'm going to transfer that into my salad bowl now, and then I'll be adding all the rest of the ingredients in the mixing bowl to chop them up next. So you do have this nice spatula that you get with your Thermomix. I love it. All right, so let's see what's next. So next, like I was telling you, you don't have to chop your jalapeno pepper. You can just drop it in because the bowl will mix it for you. So I found really big ones, so I actually am just going to use half, especially because I have a daughter who doesn't like spicy things very much. So I'm just using half of a fresh jalapeno today for the salad. And we're going to chop that up first. So I'm going to speed 7 for 3 seconds here. Okay, so look at that. Whenever, I'm always shocked every time I open up my bowl because it doesn't sound like it's doing very much, or it's kind of clunking a little bit, and I'm thinking, oh, it might have gotten stuck. But then I look inside and everything is perfectly chopped up. So only in 3 seconds, and it's really fine and perfect for this salad. Love it. So I'm just gonna scrape that down a little bit with my spatula. Okay, and then next we're going to be adding in our green onions. So again, you don't have to sit there and chop them very fine and make them look pretty. I'm just gonna throw them in like this. And you need about an ounce of green onion. You could also use red onion if you like that better, or you could use a little bit of both. And then next you need about a small red bell pepper, just roughly chopped. So you can't put the whole red bell pepper in, although you probably could. I've never tried it. But the recipe does suggest to just roughly chop it up like this once you've removed the seeds. So I'm going to add that in next. And same thing with the cucumber. I don't know what it would look like if you add in a half of a cucumber. So as it suggested, I just roughly chopped that up, and it would chop it more fine for the salad, of course. And then 1 ounce of fresh cilantro. And then we need fresh lime juice. So 1 lime is all you need for this recipe. I have a little juicer here so I could squeeze fresh lime juice. If you like to buy it at the store in those little containers, you need about an ounce of lime juice. And then we're also going to add in a little bit of olive oil. It is a salad, so that's part of our dressing. 1 ounce of olive oil. And your salt and pepper, and that's it. It's so simple. So I'm going to add a teaspoon of salt. And for the pepper, it's a ½ teaspoon of ground black pepper. So with the pepper and the jalapeno, this salad has a little bit of a kick to it. And we're going to chop all of that up next. I'm using speed 5 for 3 seconds. Okay, let's take a look. So it depends on how much you chopped before, because you can look at it and say, no, I want it chopped up more than that, and repeat that step. So for me, this is definitely chopped up enough. It looks really great. And I'm gonna go ahead and mix this into my corn next.
It looks so colorful, and I'm imagining that it smells like cilantro and peppers right now.
I love colorful salads, and yes, there's so many different flavors going on in here. You have your salt and pepper, of course, but on top of that, there's the citrus from the lime, the jalapeno makes it a little spicy, the red bell pepper adds a little sweetness, and your cilantro, so it's really delicious and colorful. It's a really nice side for the barbecue.
Sounds amazing. It looks beautiful too.
Yeah. So I wish you could all share it with me and taste it.
Trust me, I do too. Thank you so much. I'm going to do my creme anglaise. We're going to get that. Move the video here. Okay. We're going to do the creme anglaise. It's a really quick thing. And then Rebecca's going to finish up with the sherbet mimosas.
Oh, but Monica, I'm so sorry. Can I just add I have one step left of just putting the ketchup in, and then I'll wash my bowl.
Yes, go ahead.
Super sorry about that. Just you'll laugh, but here it is. After all that's been cooked, I'm gonna show it to you. It's kind of, well, it's too liquidy, so I'm not going to. But there's the onions are cooked and all the flavors are there, and then we're gonna finish it off. I just wanted to get it finished so I can wash my bowl. And I'm using the Primal ketchup that has a little bit of spice in it as well, but no sugar. So just lessening that sugar. And it's 9 ounces of ketchup. So this is the final step. And I do want to say, I love that I can walk away, or like in motherhood, when you're being interrupted, or life in general, that it keeps track of what I'm doing. And I also love, like what Christiane said, that it's stirring and you're not having to worry about it. And so often you have more time to wash dishes or clean up. These are just things that have made this revolutionary for me. That ketchup is in there, and this is the final blend. And it's going to be 30 seconds at 9, speed 9. So it's going to be 30 seconds here. Voila. Okay, so come on, you. All right, it's waking up. And oh my goodness, honestly, this smells so good. I'm married to a South African, and South Africa is famous for what they call braai, which is a barbecue. But the South African I'm married to, he's missing that gene. But I'm super excited about this because it has what you want and what you don't want. And I'm gonna actually use this because I can make a mess quicker than anyone you've ever met. But there, look how that is thick and lovely, and
wow,
and sauce. And you can keep it. You can keep it in your fridge for a good while, and you can make delicious things that have only what you want and none of what you don't want. And that is the barbecue sauce, the homemade.
wow.
That is gorgeous. That really has a beautiful color, and I can only imagine with the coffee and all the spices.
So much flavor. I do want to say consistently, when one day I was just reading different reviews, and Wired magazine, he just said, okay, the thing about these recipes is they're created by people that have great palates. And I just am like, all the time, like, oh my goodness, such wonderful tastes. And I appreciate, that's probably one of my many favorite bits, is that you're always encountering far more sophisticated tastes than I'm used to walking in. So I'm grateful for that.
I totally agree. And also, when you're doing a Google search and you're looking for, let's say, barbecue sauce, you're going to get overwhelmed with all the searches and not know where to go. You know that consistently it's going to be good in Thermomix. I'm always blown away. Okay, so we are gonna go. See, mine got sleepy. Mine turned off. So we're gonna do the crème anglaise.
That happened to me too.
By the way, if you have a Thermomix, you want to get this cup right now. This measuring cup replaces the clear plastic one, and it doesn't rattle, and it doesn't fall off. Voila, it is awesome, and free shipping until Monday. Free shipping till Monday. Oh, you know what? This is my bowl that I was just rinsing out. Hang on. I forgot to rinse it with water.
Did you use the pre-clean mode, Monica?
I did. I use the pre-clean mode. I use that all the time just to make sure it's got under, you know, everything nice and clean under the blades, especially in between recipes. All right. Okay, so this recipe I'm going to be using from Cook I Do. Hopefully you can see my screen pretty well. It's backwards, but because I am right-handed, this is my right hand. Here we go. So this is called vanilla sauce or crème anglaise. There's different ones. This is specific to the TM6, but you can use it manual mode. You can use it, the TM5 and TM31 recipes are also good, but this particular one utilizes the new thicken mode. So it's 11 ounces of whole milk. And you want to go as close to the measurements as possible on this particular recipe for thicken mode. 4 egg yolks from large eggs. It's actually specific. 2 ounces of sugar. Who doesn't love this scale function, you know? If you don't have a measuring cup, you don't really need one, actually. And then if you're using a vanilla bean pod, this is where you would take the seeds out, or you can put in some of the amaretto that soaked the strawberries. And then I'm just gonna do a little bit of the vanilla bean paste, just a tiny bit. And that's it. You just turn it on. Be right back. I'm gonna get my crumble out of the oven. I'm gonna show you that. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It is bubbly and hot, and look at that. Oh my gosh. Whew, that looks so good.
Wow, that looks beautiful too, Monica.
Oh my goodness. Okay, we're gonna go, this is on auto mode. This will be 10 minutes just on automatic. As it goes through the different functions, it actually speeds up and whips it. I don't have to touch it. I literally can walk away now for 10 minutes while this cools. But I'm not going to, because we're gonna watch Rebecca make something amazing.
I'm just gonna rinse my bowl real quickly. I just cleaned it, and I just have to rinse it real quickly. Be right back.
So Rebecca also just used her pre-clean mode. All you have to do is fill up the mixing bowl, probably halfway full of water, and then you put just 1 little drop of dish soap in there, and there's a pre-clean function on the Thermomix that you can use in between your recipes. I put mine in the dishwasher every night, so just once a day, and I cook with it 3 or 4 times a day. So all the other times I just use pre-clean mode. It takes up to 5 minutes, and then you just dump out that soapy water and rinse it with water, and it's usually, I would say 90% of the time, depending if you're if you're using onions or heating up really high, you might need to do some scrubbing. But most of the time I just rinse it out and it's ready to go. So
Okay.
love that function.
Okay, sorry. So we're just happening here. I wasn't quite ready, but I did not want any barbecue sauce coming into my and let me get to my menu, and there we have it. So this is me typically. I've got my recipes here. So everything, technology has been very elusive for me, and I don't mind that. I'm comfortable saying it. It's not been, I just kind of missed it, and then I missed it some more, and this has been so straightforward, and I'm deeply grateful for that. So I have created collections, and today I called Barbecue 2020, and in this is Sherbet Mimosa. And another thing I'm going to say that I fallen in love with in this season, like I think I might just, I don't know, boldly do a show sometime called The Love of Egg Whites. And aside from angel food cake, which I haven't had for a long time, my daughter made a delicious one not too long ago, but I did not know how amazing egg whites are. So this is a sherbet mimosa, and we have, I don't even know how to say this, prosecco?
Prosecco? Mm-hmm.
Yes, thank you. And we're gonna have some fun in honor of graduates. I live in a condominium and have graduates on both sides of me. They're gonna celebrate legally. And so here we go. I hit start cooking, and it says, Rebecca, get 50 to 100 grams sugar, and I'm going less sugar because that's just my tendency. So it gives you 50 to 100 grams, a wide leeway. And then it's going to tell me to insert my measuring cup, and I'm just make sure I have no water in this. We're going to make powdered sugar, and it's so, there's a lot of things you don't buy anymore because it does it all. And so powdered sugar is very common, and also I think it makes things blend. Like you're more often to use powdered sugar, and more often leads you in the direction of finely grinding your sugar, and it blends well. Okay, so this is let me get the lid on this. My personality, I don't mind this part of me. So, but we might have this needs to go in here. Okay, here we go. And it's just going to be 10 seconds, and I'm going to grab some frozen peaches while it does this.
On I don't know if you can hear me. I'm going to mute hers real quick. In the meantime, mine has actually speeded up. So now it's actually on a faster stir. And it just did it on its own. I love this mode.
I love those elusive, honestly, I love the sauces and that cream. I just want to eat that cream. But anyway, so now, and you saw, I had a new, I should have used my new lid too, because it's the powder, it's very fine, and it does less of that with the new lid that Monica just spoke of. So now that's done, and I'm going to actually take the whole lid off, and I am going to scrape it down. Look at that. It's not dry ice. All right. Oopsie. You just scrape that down a wee bit.
Can you show your bowl, Rebecca?
Can I what, love?
Can you show your bowl?
Sure, of course I can. Let's see. So that, just in 10 seconds. And honestly, like making your own, we cook mainly with nut flours, right? And I'm actually trying to use less almond flour for certain reasons. And I've been making so much walnut flour. And it, like, I don't know, it's just honestly opened a lot of worlds for me. It's opened a lot of worlds for me that I think I always yearned to have open, and they weren't that natural. So I'm putting in, these are just frozen peaches. The recipe, the person that made it used mango, but I'm going with a little bit of a peach flavor here.
I think peach and Prosecco sounds amazing. It's very summery.
What's that?
It's very summery.
Yes. Okay, I'm sorry that they were not long, but they got a little bit refrozen. Here we go. A little refrozen activity happening there. All right, I'm gonna grab the bag actually. Pardon me. All right, I just need just a little bit more, but I want to have it in there. And then Okay, we're gonna blend up the frozen strawberries now with the sugar. And that's gonna be 30 seconds right now at a speed of 8.
So basically she's making a sorbet. Yeah, a fruit sorbet.
Oh my gosh. Okay, that was so fascinating because, you know, grinding frozen fruit is tricky and it's so smart. It slows down and then it speeds up. It was having a little fight with that. And I'm thinking we're going to see it won. And it won. It's, you just kind of fall in love with it because it's so smart. That is sugar and frozen peaches. Okay. We're going to add my new love. This is pasteurized egg white, the equivalent of a full egg. And with my new love of egg whites, and why I love egg whites is because egg whites are not, I love dairy, but sometimes in the way we eat, you can end up eating so many heavy creams and heavy butter, and an egg white's not that, but it has that frothy and it has that, adds that height. And with this, after you've added the egg white, oh no, I thought we were gonna do the, anyway, we'll see, here we go. We're gonna blend again for 5 seconds, not long. That moment just was incorporating the egg white throughout that sugar and fruit mix. Now I'm gonna mix down these sides that are lovely and cold. Okay, here we go. And then here's the, this is the secret to happy. This is called the butterfly whisk. And it's what makes egg white do amazing things inside of Thermomix. It just goes right in there in the center. I'm gonna hit that lid on. Got my measuring cup on. And, oh, this is gonna be 2 minutes. So I don't know, but here, I'm gonna start it and we can figure out. Speed forward 2 minutes.
Okay, so we can go back to, we can talk about, we'll share Rebecca's recipe on Cook Do. I'll go back to here and just show what she's making. Mine is done in a minute. I'm amazed. So this is what, isn't this gorgeous? That is so pretty. I mean, if you share that with some, you know, at a brunch or an afternoon barbecue, how lovely is that? Oh my goodness.
Oh.
This is so beautiful. You can make it a virgin mimosa, so you could just use some lemonade or sparkling apple juice. Sounds wonderful. Super excited about that. If you ever are just wondering, what can I make? You can get Cook I Do for 30 days free. If you're just curious, what does Thermomix do? You can explore for free. So mine's done. Can I show mine real quick and then we'll finish up with yours, Rebecca? Let me show you my crème anglaise. Oh, it smells amazing. It's piping hot. I'm not gonna pour it on my computer, am I? That would be fun.
Monica, I think you have Rebecca pinned still. I can't see your screen.
Oops. Hang on, you guys. You're right, because I didn't plan to take over. Okay, here we go. That's why I was looking at a tiny little screen. This is a beautiful cream sauce. Let me just. This is a vanilla cream that we're gonna pour over. Now, they do recommend that you put it over, that you cool it. So of course, ta-da, I made one earlier today. So I'm just gonna show you the finished dessert. what it's gonna look like. We've got these beautiful cooked berries
Oh.
with the nut topping. Oh my gosh, you guys. I'm so sorry you can't taste this. I'm so sorry. It's
So hungry.
not fair at all. Look at my cute little bowl. Bon appetit.
Yum.
That is gorgeous. That is so gorgeous. So there you have it. There's my summer fruit crumble and creme anglaise. Super easy to make. I didn't break a sweat.
Yummy.
What's really exciting, my vocal group, there was a PBS documentary done on us this past year, and tonight are the Emmys. We were nominated for an Emmy in our category. So it's going to be online at 7 o'clock for the West Coast. So super excited. I'm serving this for our Emmy party.
Aww.
It's not a party, you know. My brother and his wife are coming over, but we're going to make cocktails and serve some berry crumble. So,
Yum.
yeah. And maybe that cashew red pepper dip that I've made before. That is really good stuff. Rebecca, is yours ready?
On here. Okay, I just love that. I love those sauces, as we all know. Okay, here I'm going to show you what this looks like before I take the butterfly whisk. You can see it's kind of it's hard. I'm going to drop it in here. And so kind of it's kind of a little bit of a sherbet. That's kind of the name of it, the sherbet. I'm going to drop it in there. And then for the mom crowd, I'm adding this lovely bit, little fuzzy and fun. And for the non-mom crowd, I'm using peach nectarine talking rain.
I've never heard of that. That sounds amazing.
Yeah, it's just, one of those seltzers and a seltzer water, not too sweet. Yeah, so anyway, I think this is, I just saw this and fell in love because I am in love with egg whites. I am really in love with it. There you go. There is our dinner fun drinks.
Sherbet mimosas.
Sherbet mimosas.
Have something in the chat. Let's just say we have a thank you. Everything looks yummy. You're so welcome. Kim loves grilled veggies and stone fruits. Oh yeah. So this peach sherbet looks really good. Okay, don't forget to get pictures, team.
Right, I would. That's good.
Of your recipes. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. We're grateful that you came on and hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Bye.